Hi, I'm Laura Ray, and welcome to my channel. Tonight we're going to talk about affordable beauty, and I'm featuring two brands I love so much and that are so affordable, and that is Ulta Beauty's line and also Wet n Wild. Now, I have tried Ulta Beauty in the past and it was sort of hit or miss for me, but I'm finding now they have so many amazing products that are high quality and so affordable because their price is great to begin with, but then when you top that with their sales where it's buy one, get one 50% off, you can really walk away with a steal. Now, Wet n Wild has been a favorite of mine for many years. I've tried so many of their products, so I have a good background knowledge on Wet n Wild and a good frame of reference for judging some of the new products they've come out with. So I have some of my favorites from Wet n Wild to share with you tonight. And hello to all of my amazing, beautiful ladies that are joining right now. I see Ronnie, Analyzing My Life, welcome. And Brandy, I'm so glad you're all here. I'm very excited to share with you some great products at great prices. I have been trying out so many products lately. And right now, hello Leslie, welcome from snowy Colorado. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. You guys are tough cookies out there making it through that weather, that's for sure. Well, tonight I am wearing on my skin this foundation and I love it. It's from Ulta Beauty. It's their Youthful Glow Foundation and my shade is light to medium neutral. I find that on my skin, neutral works great in so many brands. It gets rid of the redness in my skin. It helps with any pigmentation. I'm not too pink or my skin's not too orange. So it really works great for my skin. Now this says light to buildable coverage. Now, before I start talking about it, I want to say that I have normal to dry skin. And I'm 57, so I have all the things any woman at 57 would have and concerns. Fine lines, some wrinkles, some deeper wrinkles, those kinds of things. I have a little bit of pigmentation, not quite a lot, but I do have some redness and broken capillaries. So those are some of the things I'm working with when I buy a foundation. Now, I fell in love with the MAC Face and Body, and I was looking for something more affordable like it. This is very similar, except this has more of a serum feel to it. The MAC Face and Body is a little more watery texture, where this feels like you put a drop of oil in it. So I want to show it to you. Hello, Stacy from Cleveland, Ohio. I love Cleveland. I actually went there and stayed at the Christmas Story house. That's one of my favorite movies, and they have where you can stay at the house, and they even have the Bumpus house next door. So those of you that know that movie, we had just such a great time. And I'm so glad you all are here tonight. Well, let me show you the Youthful Glow Foundation on my little palette here so you can see the texture of it. And this is what I'm wearing tonight. And it just spreads so beautifully into the skin. And you can see on the glass palette that you get some nice coverage. You can't see so much through the glass. Now, other foundations I have, you can really see through the glass, but you get some nice coverage with this. It blends beautifully on the skin. Now, I've tried applying it all ways. Really what I like to do is put it on with my fingers, blend it out over my face, which is what I did tonight, and then either take my BK Beauty brush or a damp sponge and sort of just blend it out. And that's it. It's very easy to apply. I love it. Stacy B says, very cool. The leg lamp shade is hysterical. And you know what, Stacy? So many people stopped to take a picture of the leg lamp. All night people were coming up to the front of the house when we were staying in it and taking a picture of the leg lamp. So it's a really popular spot to go to in Cleveland. And also the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We went there and that was amazing. So let's talk now. So that is a real favorite of mine. I love this. And again, that is the Ulta Beauty Youthful Glow Foundation Serum Drops. These are so reasonable. I think, let's see, they're $16, but it really performs like something you would pay $50 for or $60 for. I really love it. So this is great. Now you remember that I talked about the Lancome, the concealer, and it was very drying, and my under eyes actually irritated my eyes, sort of made me feel, you know, do you ever get that foggy eye feel on the eyes from makeup that just isn't working well in your eye area? That's how I felt. I felt tired all day actually when I was wearing it. And so I was trying some concealers from Ulta Beauty at the time, and I found that it was thin like the Lancome, great coverage, and gave me a nice glow, but was much more affordable. The Lancome was $29, and this concealer runs around $9. And like I said, Ulta Beauty does a lot of these buy one, get one 50% off. So you could end up getting something like this for $4.50. But this one here I love so much is the Youthful Glow Concealer. It gives a nice glow to the skin. It's thin, doesn't get in my fine lines, and blends beautifully. Now I bought the shade Light Neutral. And I want to say before I go on, just like every video I do, in the description of the video are all the links for the products, the prices for the products. And if you shop those links, I get a small commission, but that helps support my channel and all these things I'm buying for the videos. So I truly appreciate it so much that you do that. So that is a winner for me. I love this concealer. It's one of my favorite I've ever used and so affordable. Now, if you like a heavier concealer, like you're a fan of Tarte Shape Tape, something like that that's a little thicker, you might want to go with this one from Ulta Beauty. It's their full coverage. This gives you more coverage. I like to use this around my nose, say, because I have broken capillaries there. So if you're looking for something fuller and you feel the Youthful Glow is too thin for you, then this is sort of the answer to that. So I want to share something more recently. I found two things that I'm just going crazy over. But first I want to say hello to everybody who's come into the live. I'd like to welcome all of you. I see Tall Viking Girl. Hello from New Jersey. Hello. We're so happy you're here. And Helen's here. And Debbie, welcome Debbie. And she says the Lancome Eye Concealer is drying, but if you really moisturize, it works well. That's a great tip. I will try it, Debbie. I will try. Now, one thing I'll be talking about in an upcoming video, I've sort of gone back to green coffee bean oil under the eyes. I used to use that. I did videos about it. It has loaded with caffeine, so it really plumps up the under eye area. And so that might be something great for me to try mixing with the Lancome, because I hate to just let it sit there when I spent $29 for this. I want to get my money's worth. And hello to Bunny from Massachusetts. She says it's freezing. Oh, I don't know how you ladies make it in that cold weather. Sharon, welcome from Alabama. And I saw we had someone here from Florida. Diana is here from St. Augustine. Welcome, Diana. And I hope I don't leave anybody out. I'm doing this without my readers on, so I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anyone. And Debbie and Joanne B., welcome to all of you from the UK. Oh my goodness, that's where my family came from originally, from the UK. And I'm just thrilled to have all of you ladies here. And I have so many great products to share with you. I've been super excited about this video all week. One thing I want to share that I'm really loving is this. Ulta has a waterproof, says waterproof color corrector, and it's a liquid. So it's got that pinkness like the Becca that we all talk about. Now the Becca, to me, the brightener is just so thick. I have to be strategic with it and very careful with the amount I use. This has that brightness, but it's very thin, which is what I always go for. Let me show you how bright. Look at that. That will really brighten your under eye area. I've been using this lately in my under eye area because I have such deep set eyes. I tend to get very dark in here and in the outer corner of my eye. So that's something I have to work on with makeup, and I really love this. So this is the Ulta Color Corrector, and this is the shade Pink Rose is the name of it. Most of their products have the names on the ends, and some of them have numbers, so it makes it a little bit tricky when I'm trying to tell you the shade. Now I have a little dupe for you, a surprise dupe, and I didn't promote this dupe, so you get first dibs on getting the dupe. And this is from Ulta Beauty. It's their dual-ended brow highlighter. Now, how many of you have ever used the one from Benefit? I've bought that over and over, the highbrow that Benefit makes. Well, this is so much more affordable, and what's great about this is one side you've got matte, so you've got a matte brightener. This is also great. I sometimes will put it in the corner of my eye or the inner corner, and it really brightens the eye up. I've even used it right on the lid instead of eyeshadow and just patted it out as if it was a cream eyeshadow. So really great. I've used this under my brow tonight to bring a little brightness. I looked a little wiped out from school today, and I thought, boy, I need to brighten myself up. So I whipped out this baby and put it under the brows, and it gives you a nice little lift. Now on this side is one with sparkle, with shimmer to it. So you got a matte and a shimmer all in one stick. What a deal. This will last forever too. These things, the Benefit one that I bought, I had for so long, I finally just threw it out and thought, this is a cream, I shouldn't keep it this long, and I bought a new one. But now I won't buy it anymore because this one from Ulta is just great, and it's called their dual-ended brow highlight. And I'm loving it. This is so great. You could even take this, say you wanted to highlight like your nose or something like that on the bridge, instead of like the Maybelline brightener. This is a little easier to work with because you can draw a line. Or you could even use this as a highlighter for your cheeks. So say you didn't want, I've got some from Wet n Wild on my cheeks right now. You can see that glow, but say you didn't want that glow, you just wanted a little brightness. You just draw right on the cheek here, pat it out, and it will add brightness and make you look more awake, more alive, that kind of a thing. So I love this. This is a great find. Now I have, and I want to welcome all of you. Wow, so many of you here. West Virginia, I see, Texas, all over. I'm so happy you ladies are here. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. I just love all of you so much. I look forward to our little makeup parties here, and I get so excited that you're here. So thank you for coming out tonight. Now I have another great product to share with you. I have said recently, in the last 2 years, I've had such a problem with eye primers. I will have my eye overall on the mobile lid is pretty smooth. I don't have a lot of crepiness there. But when I would put these primers on, they would get so crepey within a minute, I would just see the lid shrivel like this. And sometimes even a little bit of an allergic reaction. So I started looking for other primers. I've tried the Anastasia. I liked it, but I didn't feel like it kept my shadows on as long as the one I'm going to show you. I love the one from Ilia. I would have to say that's my absolute favorite, the one I showed in a video recently, because it has a little iridescence to it. It's super thin. It just doesn't affect my eyes at all. It doesn't make them feel dry. It doesn't make them feel like I need to rub my eyes. No allergic reaction. So the one from Ilia, I have to say right now is the top dog. But I have a great affordable one for you, and it is from Ulta, and it's their matte primer. Now, I've used this before in the past, and I think they've changed the formula. It blends easier. It has the look like of a MAC paint pot when you put it on, and it just holds the shadows like nobody's business. Now, I'm wearing it right now underneath some Wet n Wild shadows I'm going to show you, and I am loving this. When I put this on and go to work, when I come home, my shadows have not disappeared, which normally they would if I don't wear a good primer. So this is their matte primer, very affordable, drugstore price. I'm so thrilled I found this because I have not been able to use a drugstore primer in quite a while that didn't affect my eyes in a negative way. Now, Brandy says, do you still use the Gerard? I do. I don't think the Gerard holds on to the shadows as well as this because it's a little creamier, but it still works and I still use it and I still love it. But I would have to say this is even less expensive, and a lot of people have said to me, can you find something more affordable? This would be my affordable one. But I still do love the Gerard Cosmetics one. Now, another product that's so unique that I have to share with you, if I can find it here in my plethora of products, is an under eye primer. And let's see, here it is. It's Ulta Beauty Under Eye Primer. Now, I've not tried a lot of under eye primers. I don't know if you ladies have or not, but I haven't. I have one I bought from Stila, I think, that I really love. It adds brightness to the under eyes, and it did seem to work beautifully under concealer to sort of hold it on better. So I really love that, but this one is thin, but yet sort of like spackle for your underlines, your lines under the eyes. So I've really been happy with it. It has, just like their other concealers, a little wand. And what I do is before I put on any concealer, any makeup in the under eye area, I sort of go into any line I have, like I have a little smile line, those kind of things, and I go over it and just sort of pat it in and pat underneath the eye. I put a little in this area, and then I put on my brightener and concealer and all that. It seems to work very well with these. They all work well together. So I'm really happy with it. The longer I use it, I'll give you more feedback on that. But for right now, I love this. And another thing you could do with it is put it into lip lines. I find these kind of products work great. You can just sort of push it into the lip lines around the mouth, and it sort of fills those up too. So a lot of the time, the things that work around my eyes for lines around the eyes work for lines around the mouth too. So that's just something to think about. And thank you so much for all your support. You ladies are just the best. And I love being here with you and the interaction that we have. I see that, I need that. The Pixie Corrector is a bit thick, Debbie says. I totally agree. And it was way too peachy for me on my skin. The Pixie Corrector, which I've tried a couple of times. I bought it one time and then people kept raving about it, so maybe a year or two later I went and bought it. It was very peachy orangey on my skin. It did not melt into the skin well. It showed up, so it never really worked very well for me. Brandy says, can you suggest an under eye plumper? I cannot get any concealer to work. I would say for under eye plumping, well, I'll give you more feedback, Brandy, on the coffee bean oil. I used to use that for plumping. Now also, I use plumping more my eye creams. I try to get an eye cream with caffeine in it. So some of the eye creams I've talked about recently that I'm using, those work great for eye plumping. I sort of try to plump with caffeine and then fill with something like the Ulta. But I also find that one of the best things is doing my gua sha tool before I put on my makeup. I find that when I get that fluid out and get the blood circulating and get everything moving, that area looks so much better. So I really like to do gua sha for a little bit in the morning before I put on all my makeup, because I feel like my skin looks so healthy. Like this morning, I did make time for that. And when I was done, I was like, I put on my eye makeup and I thought, did I already put on my foundation? My skin looked so healthy from the gua sha, I thought I had put on foundation. That is a new thing for me. I used to easily tell I did not have my foundation on. So I think doing that gua sha and getting the skin looking fresh and healthy before you put on your makeup is really helpful. So will it cover dark circles? What I would recommend for dark circles is definitely color correct first. I would get this pink color corrector and get that baby on, and then put the concealer on top. And again, you want to use products that are so thin. If you get thicker products and you start doing all this layering, pretty soon it's a hot mess. There's going to be, if you have any fine lines like I do, when I say a hot mess, it would be that way on me. It would be in my fine lines, and my eyes your attention would go to that instead of my eyes, which is what we're wanting to bring attention to. So I feel like the thinner the better, and just light, thin layers is the best way to go, and you can get those dark circles covered really well. And so I see Debbie uses a jade roller under her eyes with serum. I think that's great. I love the jade roller too. I get a lot of questions about, like, what's the difference between a jade roller and gua sha in doing that method. And of course, I have a brand new video I did recently on gua sha if you want to sort of follow along with me. It's meant to be you and me together, doing it together, so that till you get the feel of it. It is sort of like learning a dance. Once you learn the routine, then you can go off on your own and do it yourself. So I think it's really helpful when you first get started with gua sha to have someone to follow and sit and do the tool with them. But what the gua sha is much more intense. The gua sha sculpts the face. I will see my jawline much better, where the jade is good for, I would say, lymphatic drainage. Or even if you're just applying your products to get it in. But I like to apply a lot of my products with my gua sha tool. I will put on a moisturizer, not necessarily always use an oil, and then do the gua sha, and it just seems like it just gets much deeper into my skin. And Helen says the Inky List has a great coffee eye cream. I have that, Helen. I tried it and I love it too. And it's so affordable. I have talked about that. If you go to any of my latest skincare videos, you'll see some of the skincare that I share. And that's a new brand that for me, it's been out a while, but I've been trying it. That's at Sephora. So I love that. That's a really great one. So I want to show you a few more things that you might not have ever tried from Ulta. And first off, I want to start with, we're talking about Benefit. Well, I recently bought the Benetint again. I bought it a long time ago, and it used to look like nail polish. Do you all remember that? They had like a nail polish brush. Well, you know, I just am so busy during the day, I really don't have much time to reapply makeup. And so I thought maybe I should go back to one of those tints where I can stain my lips and they'll just miraculously stay stained all day. So I bought these. Ulta has a tint like the Benetint. And Benetint, by the way, I'll be showing that in a video coming up. They have gone from the brush to more of a sponge applicator. So if you didn't like that nail polish kind of brush they used to have, They don't have that anymore. But this has a wand just like you're putting lip gloss on, but this is the texture look of water. It is so cool. Now, I haven't done a wear test yet comparing benefit with this. Now, here's the thing. I looked at the ounces or milliliters. This is 3 milliliters of product. And it's around, I think around $9 for this. The Benetint was around 18, but there was double the product. It was 6 milliliters in the Benetint. So really, they're about the same price unless you get the Ulta on sale, but maybe you don't want to spend $18 on a tint. You just want to spend $9 or less than $9. So this is great. It comes in 2 shades, and I'm loving it. It did stain the lips for a long time. It's so easy to use. I could have some coffee, I could do some things, and still have red lips. I didn't find I got it outside the lines. Now let me tell you something else I did. I put it on my cheeks. And when I put it on my cheeks as blush, it felt a lot like my Daniel Sandler, the watercolor blush. Because it is, look at it, it's like water. This is so cool. It reminds me of a lava lamp. But isn't that great? And you could put this on your cheeks. So you could have blush, and it had such a beautiful look to it. I'm going to wear it one time on camera so you can see, but I loved it. And Debbie's saying there's usually an Ulta coupon to use. Absolutely. So you can really save on these things, and I just love it. Now, another product you might not have tried, but this is their Too Cheeky for lips and cheeks. And this is great too. So if you're looking for a affordable cheek cream product, I love this. Let me put it on my hand just so you can see. Isn't that pretty? Now this shade is called Mood. I really love it. And you can use it on the lips. I find that all of these products, no matter how much I spend, don't last really long on the lips. So whether I've spent $45 and tried one or $9 and tried one, they last beautifully on the cheeks, but not much on the lips. So I just want to be very clear with that. But I love multi-purpose. A lot of times with these, some of them say eyes, lips, cheeks. I will take it, dab it on the eye, and you have a beautiful cream shadow. So I really love these. Again, this is Mood, Too Cheeky. And I have all of the links in the description of the video. So I put the prices, the links, everything there to make it easy for you. And now I have a few other lip products, and one someone asked me to find. I love the Elizabeth Arden lip cream I've been talking about. That was my mom's recommendation, so thank you, Mom. She has been using that a long time apparently and did not tell me. We have secrets, I guess. I guess we have secrets. I didn't think we had secrets. But now I found it out, and I am loving that. And I've had a lot of questions about it, why I like it. It does smooth the lips. It really seems to keep my lipstick on longer and just makes my lips look better and keeps my lips from getting dry. So say you liked a matte crayon, but you don't like how it feels on your lips. You put that Elizabeth Arden on, put your matte on, and it's not going to feel the same. It's going to feel so much better. I'm loving that. But some people have asked me, they said, could you find something cheaper? Because the Elizabeth Arden is, I think, $22 for that. So Ulta has one that isn't not like Elizabeth Arden at all. It's not a lip cream, but it is meant, it says Correct and Perfect Lip Primer. And it's a stick. So like I said, it's nothing like the Elizabeth Arden, but it is a lip primer. So I wanted to talk about it. It gives your lips more of a waxy feel. Her lip cream is a cream. It feels like moisturizer you would put on your face. So it's very different. But this does seem to smooth the lips. I like it, like I told you when I talked about a clear lip liner, I like going above the lip, and it sort of acts like a dam for keeping the lipstick from going out of the lines, you know. It's like a wall there. And then also I feel like it's good for sort of moisturizing if you have lines around your lips. So this sort of is a multi-purpose product. I really like it, very affordable. And I want to welcome all, I see Janet's here. Welcome, Janet. And I'm just so happy to see all of you tonight. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Faf Captain, I see. Thank you for your sweet comment. All of you ladies are just absolutely amazing. And it's fun being here at our own makeup party, right? That's always been my dream, to have a makeup party too. Someone said in high school they wished there was a makeup club. I would have been a member for sure. So I got a couple other lipsticks I want to share with you. Right now on my lips, I have this gloss stick from Ulta Beauty. I am wearing this with a Wet n Wild product in the middle that I will share with you, one of their affordable lipsticks. But this is beautiful. It reminds me of the reason I picked it up. I know a lot of you are thinking this already because of Clinique Black Honey. I thought that looks a little similar. And so let me show you my hand. It really does. And it's very moisturizing. I love trying just different colors, and they have a few colors in these. I would like to try some more, but I like this style of lipstick where it's more like a crayon. They're so easy to work with. Now, if you like a point, you're not going to maybe like this because it is rounded on the end, but it's so moisturizing. This shade is called Buggin', and I just love it. It's very easy to use, very moisturizing, just fantastic. Now, another lipstick, I've tried a couple more recently, different styles. I wanted to show you some of the different ones they have. You know I've been wearing a red lip lately. This is their Velvet Matte Lip Crayon. And this is red, my husband's favorite. He was loving this shade. Here it is up top here. Beautiful, spreads nice. Now, like I said, I really like to wear some kind of lip primer underneath, just for smoothness. So the matte looks really nice, but boy, this is one of those lip crayons. Again, this shade is Lava, but I love it. I think it's beautiful. It's as nice as any from the other brands. I think Ulta has stepped their game way up because I've used a lot of this stuff in the blast from the past a few years ago, and they have really stepped it up. They can compete with Maybelline, with just all these brands. They're really amazing. And hello to Julie. Welcome, Julie and Nancy. I'm so glad you guys are here. And Debbie says, is it still cold in Florida? Yes, it's been pretty cold. And some mornings in the 30s, even in the 20s. So we've had some cold weather. I've been in a puffy jacket and a sweater for the bitter month. February is usually our coldest, and we start coming out of it in mid-March or so, and then good days ahead. And Brandy says, you rock a red lipstick. Thank you, Brandy. I have just fallen in love with it. The last thing I ever thought I would do. Now, I want to show you these blushes. I showed these once in another video. These are their blush trio from Ulta. This one, Sweet Rose. Now, they remind me so much of NARS. I recently bought a NARS palette for the purpose of comparison. I try to buy some mid-price makeup so I can give you a dupe, so I can compare products. How can I tell you if a drugstore product is great if I have no frame of reference? So a lot of times I will buy Charlotte Tilbury, these other brands, so I can tell you this is very compatible. And so this is beautiful. I love these blushes. I didn't have much personally in my collection that was rose. I had many more that were coral. So I wanted to give these a go. And I love them. They're really great. Another blush set. I was telling my mom about this today because I'm wearing this tonight and I love it. And this is one Emily Noel has talked quite a bit about on her channel. I know a lot of you watch Emily and she has mentioned it. This is their trio that they have, and they have a couple of these, actually 3. When I go in store to Ulta, they're always down to 1. Like, these are sold out all the time. So if you buy it online, you'll be sure to get what you want. And one thing I love about Ulta, I will say, I've really gotten into the online ordering because they pack everything so nicely. I haven't had one thing come broken, knock on wood, but so far everything has come back looking great. You can get, extra little things. You can still get your points. You can use all your stuff. So I really love ordering online. It's so economical too, because I'm not using gas to drive to the store. So I really like it. This one is Santorini Sun. So this bronzer here reminds me a lot of the Flower Beauty Heat Wave bronzer that I rave about all the time. This is very similar. It's sort of got that effect of the Hourglass powders where they put a mix of shades together to give you just a beautiful shade. Then this blush is my heart here. This is like my favorite shade. When I look at that, that's like the shade I love for a lot of things, lipstick, other makeup products. And then you've got this gorgeous highlighter. Now you could swirl them all together, put it on your cheeks and be done. Whatever floats your boat. But this bronzer is beautiful. It's not glittery or anything. I have it on right now and I love to blend it. I sort of start up here, blend under the cheekbone, come down here, and I even put some on the neck. That seems to make my neck look a little better and keeps the makeup blended. So I really love this. This is, I want to get the other one really. I really would like to go back and get the other 2 that they have because they're just so beautiful. Now I think I have 2 more Ulta things to share with you. And if those of you came late, you can watch the replay of the video and see I talked about the serum I'm wearing right now. I talked about some amazing concealers that are so affordable and a color corrector that I like so much more than Becca. And also I talked about a dupe for the Benefit Highbrow that I love even better than the Highbrow. So these are some big money savers tonight, and you don't hear many people on YouTube talking about Ulta Beauty. I really don't understand it because they really have amazing products. They are like the most hidden gem out there, I think. And I see Debbie says that blush is a color I love. Yes, I think that's just so pretty on everyone. It would be a good universal shade. Now I do love cream blush. They have one called Stay Cheeky. This shade is Dusty Pink. Let me sort of put it on my hand for you and show you how this is. Nice cream, and look, just beautiful. So, there are companies that have blushes like this that are $40. And again, most of Ulta's products that they have run around $9. And then they're constantly having these buy one, get one 50 off sales. So you can really score with these. And the last Ulta product I wanted to talk about tonight is this lipstick. This is their Radiant Shine. These are amazing. Just absolutely gorgeous. I have a red shade. Actually, I should have probably worn that tonight with what I'm wearing. It would have been a good match. But I'll show you what I like about these is you get beautiful color. You get a gloss without wearing lip gloss. A lot of women our age, as we get older and we have lip lines, gloss doesn't always work. Sometimes it's too goopy, it makes our lipstick bleed, then it's into the lines, and then it's a mess. So this is nice because look at all the shine on this. but it's the texture more of a lipstick than a balm. This really isn't a balm. They call it Radiant Shine, and I believe they call it a lipstick. This is number 349. They don't always put the names on their products. They put a number. But this whole line, I would love to get more shades because they really work on my lips. They make them look full, they make them look shiny, and they don't bleed. So I think that's perfect for a mature woman. And another thing, we're talking about online shopping. I really like online because when I go to the store, a lot of times they're sold out of things. They're missing things. And I also like to take my time and look. And when I look online, I can read the details about the lipsticks. Oh, they have vitamin E, they have this or that. And I know it's going to be good for me and not be drying. So I really like all the information I get on the site too, more so than just looking at it at the store. So Nancy says, I'm an Ulta online shopper. They have drugstore makeup also. That's a beautiful trio on you. Thank you so much. Yes, I love it because all your drugstore stuff's there, plus you get your points. So I keep saving my points because you ladies, I hope everyone knows. I didn't know this right away when I first got to be an Ulta shopper. The more points you get, the greater the value, they bump it up. So if you get to a certain number of points, you get a lot of extra money. So I try to go till the maximum points and then use them. When I first started years ago, I used to use them each time. Oh yeah, take my points, go ahead. And as you build, there are some big jumps in the amount you get back. So your best bet is waiting to your maximum points, and then you get a lot back. I think $125 or $150 is quite a bit. So I look forward to that boosting up. Well, let's switch gears. We've talked so much about Ulta. I had so many great things to share. And I shared with you too their lip mask. I love it. It's their lavender lip mask. I talked about that recently in a video because I've been trying out a lot of different lip masks. It's beautiful. It has such a nice texture, and when I wake up in the morning, I still have it on. It's not worn off. So I think that's a good sign when you still feel that moisture on your lips in the morning and you still feel like you have some product and it hasn't all come off during the night. So if you haven't tried that lavender one, you might want to give that a go. And it's pretty. It's like a lavender color too, so it looks so nice. Well, let's talk about Wet n Wild. Do you guys like Wet n Wild? I hear so much about Wet n Wild on YouTube, and I always wonder, how much do you all like it? How much do you buy of it? Could you say in the comments maybe something that you bought from Wet n Wild so I'll have a little reference? Or yes, I buy it. You can even give me a thumbs up, yes, I buy Wet n Wild, or no, I don't. Just so I sort of know what's going on and get a feel for the room. But let me show you some things that I love while you're putting those things in the comment. First of all, this is so inexpensive, and I really do like this. This is their Tinted Hydrator, and I bought the shade Light. It has squalene in it. It has hyaluronic acid. We know that all these companies, even drugstore now, are putting skincare ingredients into their products. Don't count on that for miraculous skin changes, but what's nice is the formulas are good and they spread well. They go on the skin better. They look better all day. So I think it's great they're adding all the skincare, but I don't count as that towards applying skincare. I think you probably feel the same way. Brandy says Wet n Wild is great, lipsticks and blushes. Oh, I agree, and I have some really good ones to share with you tonight. Diana says Wet n Wild has great brushes. They do. I have some brushes from them I really like. Blushes and brushes. Yes, and Leslie said, I like the tinted moisturizer. Great. Thank you, Leslie. Teresa said Wet n Wild Balm Stain is awesome. I love that. And actually at Christmas over at, let me think, CVS, they had a huge set. that had those balm stains in them, and they're sort of hard to get. When I looked on Amazon, they were very expensive. They were more than what you would pay, and they're hard to find. They used to make those, and then it seemed like they stopped making them. So I really do love those too, Teresa. Those are favorites of mine. Tuesday says, no, I never buy Wet n Wild. And Barb says the Tinted Hydrator is her everyday foundation. Crystal, no, I don't use Wet n Wild. And Ronnie, I've never purchased Wet n Wild, so I'm looking forward to hearing about the items you've purchased. And Julie says she uses their eyeshadows. And then J Red says, I don't use a whole lot, but I do love the Tinted Moisturizer and also their Photo Ready Foundation. Yes, I've tried that. That's really good. That worked well. Melody gave me a thumbs up. She buys Wet n Wild. So let's talk about the things I really love. I had a whole drawer of Wet n Wild, but of course we could be here all night, and we've already been here 45 minutes. So I brought some of the favorites and some newer things, not some of their older products. So I've been trying recently this Impossible Primer. I really like this. It's a silicone primer. I've talked about Milani's No More Pores, their primer that's silicone, and I like that also so much. This is very similar. And so let me just give you, just showing my hand so you see the texture. You can see that it ain't going nowhere, right? It really stays and then blends out. And when you blend it, it's that feel of baby powder, just like a silky powder, and it feels wet. That's what's strange about it. It almost, when you move your hand, it's like it turns into water. And it just goes on the skin, and then the skin feels silky smooth. Maybe I ought to start putting that on my hands. My hands look better. So it's just really nice. And again, we know anything from Wet n Wild is probably going to be under $10. These are all so affordable. So let's talk about blush, since you ladies love the blush. It said new, but I know these are older shades. I think they have made a comeback. They've sort of reformulated or started producing them again. But this one is Pinch Me Pink. I really love this. Again, these are shades that I recognize the name because I've used Wet n Wild for years. Over 10 I know of, and maybe longer than that, and I just can't remember. But this is a beautiful pink blush. What I like about their blushes is they're very pigmented, yet you can build them. They don't go on like a clown. You can really, if you have the right brush and just a soft, fluffy brush, and you just start slow, you can really build up and have a beautiful blush. It will look as great as any high end. So I love this shade. And then the other one I bought is Mellow Wine. Now this looks very dark, but it doesn't look dark on my skin. When I put it on, it's very doable for my light medium skin. I'm sort of at the end of light. When I buy a foundation, I buy the last light one that's a neutral, and that always seems to work for me pretty well. And this looked really great on my skin. In the pan, it looks darker, but I'll sort of put it on my hand. It reminds me of like the Rockateur from Benefit, sort of along that line, sort of that dusty mauve kind of shade. I really love this. It's a beautiful blush and so affordable. These are very inexpensive. Now, another great, I have 2 highlighters to share, and I know some of us mature ladies aren't fans of highlighters, and I understand that, and some love them more than any other makeup product, so I always want to be sharing them. This one is called Blossom Glow, and look at how pretty. Wet n Wild has this beautiful flower in the palette. I love how they're doing this. This week in my video on Saturday, I'm going to be sharing some blushes. It's like all my recent Amazon favorites and things that really surprised me that ended up being so much better than I ever thought they would be. That's what my video is going to be on Saturday morning. Well, a couple of blushes I bought off Amazon were like this. They had a design in them. So this is really pretty. Look at the highlight on that. Now I tend to use these also, not only, I wore this on my cheek tonight. Oh, actually I didn't. I changed my mind, and the one I went with was this one I wanted to share. This one is their Hello Halo, and this is the one I went with on the cheek. And let me tell you, I just put one little tiny dot, blended it out. That's it. There's just not much you need to use. This is from their Mega Glow line, and this has a sponge applicator. This is as good as any high-end highlighter you're going to ever find, and it's so affordable. It is beautiful. So I think either one of these, if you prefer a powder, I know some ladies don't like liquids at all and they prefer a powder, then I say this one is awesome. If you like liquid, then I would say the Mega Glow is the way to go. Hey, I'm a poet and I didn't know it. All right, now we're moving on to eyeshadow. Recently I shared these that originally Riza does makeup. We told there was a whole deal. She did her video, everybody wanted them, and then no one could get the shadows at Walmart. They wouldn't ship them out. It was a lot going on. Well, thankfully, yes, I see Janet says, what shadows are you wearing tonight? Well, what I did, I started off with this palette from Wet n Wild. This one is They're Always Naked. And I started off using some of these. I think I went in with this one here, and then I mixed this shimmer shadow right here. And then I thought, why don't I throw in the other palette too? I wanted more of a plummy kind of look, so I mixed and used the other one, Always Blushing. They came out with these two at the same time, and they were both impossible to get, but now they're like $8 and something on Amazon, so they're so affordable. Amazon keeps running sales on them, so that's great, because I did see them at Walgreens, but they were, I think, $11.99. So Amazon's price of $8 and something was amazing. Now I will warn you, some of these, this like the glitter shadow, I wasn't thrilled with because it was dropping on my makeup. It was not staying on the eye, so I don't use this one. But the rest of these are shimmers, not glitter. So they're really beautiful. I love these shades. These are shades that you find in all these high-end palettes, but you can get it for a little over $8. So how reasonable is that? I love these. They're fun. It's a great way to try shades that you want to try without making a huge financial commitment. So I really like that. And one thing I did tonight is that I took this brush from BK Beauty. This is a 204 brush. I love her brushes. Her brushes are amazing. I've had a few questions now. I want to disclose she sent me the brushes, so I didn't buy them, but I was so impressed. It was the first BK Beauty products I ever tried were the brushes she sent. I was so impressed. I ordered a lipstick, a liner, and her eyeshadow palette. That's how much I love the brushes. So if they are within your price range, I think they're beautiful. But what I did tonight was I took this brush and I wet it with just water, mixed into the Wet n Wild, and then patted on the eye, and it gave such a more intense look. You can also do setting spray. You could do a spray. I used to use the Max Fix Plus on here and do the shadows, and it really helps that it, really gives you that intensity. So I want to make sure everyone could see that. So this is the Always Blushing palette. This is the mauve shades. And what I did tonight was I went into this one here, so gorgeous, like a dusty rose. And I just put it on the outer edge of my eye and then brought it along like it was eyeliner with that little brush. This is like a smudger brush. This is a 204 brush. And I just sort of smudged it along the lash line. And these two palettes mix so well. You know, all palettes won't always mix, but these do because you have the nudes and then the dusty ones. And these are so versatile. I also like to use this one here, the darker shade, as an eyeliner. I talked about that before. I will go on with liquid liner. I use the NYX Epic Liner tonight because when I'm under these hot lights like this, regular eyeliner will end up down here, smudged because of the heat. So I like to use a liquid liner when I'm under the lights. But then to soften the look, I will take a smudger brush or one of those angled brushes, put some powder on and go over the line. And it gives you sort of a smoky eye look, but without so much smokiness. So I hope that is helpful. I really love those shadows. And I see Sandy says, I don't like glitter. It gets in your eye. I agree, Sandy. I have trouble with the glitter. My eyes are more sensitive now. So I sort of stick with a shimmer or matte. I like working with those formulas. And Phyllis says, do you have on another eyeliner as well? Right now, all I have on is the shadow and my NYX Epic Liner. I've talked about that one, Phyllis, and what I like about it, it's easy to work with. In my beginner eye look that I did last Saturday, I had a video last Saturday on beginner tips for beginners for the eyes, and I use that eyeliner. What I do is I keep my eye open, look down in the mirror, and I do little dashes. I usually start in the center of the eye, get it going, then do a line in here and a line here and sort of connect them. I found that so much easier than stretching my eye, trying to get a straight line. That is impossible. I'm sorry, that is just impossible. So Analyzing My Life says, I used to buy Wet n Wild when I first got into makeup, but I haven't really bought anything from them in a few years. I think you would be impressed. You would probably say, wow, Wet n Wild stepped their game up. Because that's how I feel. I feel like their products have gotten so much better over the years. Their formulas are great. The makeup stays on. It looks nice all day. So I'm really impressed with their products. Yeah, Phyllis, I think you will love that. That was a recommendation actually of my daughter. We were filming and she goes, oh my gosh, you got smudge under your eyes. You got to start wearing a liquid liner. So I asked her, have you tried any you like? She says, the NYX is really pigmented. And one thing when I was researching for the beginner eye tips, one thing I came across is that you want an eyeliner with a lot of pigment to it. You want that liquid liner though that's really deep because it will make your eyes pop. So I feel like the NYX Epic Ink Liner is beautiful. I buy it in the shade brown. I don't use black liner pretty much anymore. And I find the brown looks really beautiful and it stays on all day. So I've sort of gotten attached to liquid liners now because they stay on so much better. And anything you ladies missed, if you're coming in now, we're so happy you're here. You can rewatch the video immediately when we're done. It will be up on YouTube. You can watch it at your leisure. And I covered so many great things from Ulta you won't want to miss. And I see I missed something. So I'm going to go back for a second before I finish the shadows. I bought the Ulta Beauty Lip Quench. Now what's great about this, it's flavors. Now you guys are the only ones that are going to understand what I'm about to say. Do you guys remember those bat candies, the taffy sticks that were thin and they were called bats? And they came in vanilla, banana, all these strawberry. I had my share, which is probably why I'm having a toothache right now. But those bats were fantastic. And this is like the banana bat candy. So how can you go wrong with that? I love it. The minute I put it on, it was a blast from the past. I felt like it was like 1970. I said, I know that scent. and it was that dang bat candy. I love those things. I would get them at the 7-Eleven. Remember when you can get a bag of candy for like 25 cents, a bag of it, that penny candy? Those were some good times, ladies. But this has a really nice amount of, texture to it, but it's not super sticky. I've been wearing this to bed just because I want to smell the bananas. But they had other scents. They had strawberry, they had, different ones, so you could find something else you love if you hate banana. But those of you that are like me and remember that bat candy and the taffy, you are just going to love me for recommending this, because it's going to bring back your childhood good memories. And so Julie says, I remember those, and banana was my favorite. Well, then you got to get on Ulta.com right away, because these are great and they're not going to ruin your teeth. That's the good news. So let me finish the eyeshadows. I just love you ladies. This is so much fun. And the candy cigarettes, oh my gosh. Now I'm telling the honest truth, I've never smoked a cigarette ever in my life, but I have smoked candy cigarettes and gum cigarettes. And let me tell you, every 5-year-old on my street was like this. Do you remember the dust that came out of those things? We loved those. We thought we were the coolest kids ever with those just bubblegum cigarettes and the candy. I love those things. They still make them. They have those gift bags or things that you can buy for people, like 1960s candy, 1970s, and they still make those bubblegum cigarettes. And remember the cigars? Oh my gosh, the bubblegum cigars, they used to come in banana too. I am showing you my love of candy here. I'm letting out all my secrets, ladies. So let me tell you, I would just be like this with my cigar. Loved it. So, and it was the best gum. It had so much flavor. It would last at least 5 minutes, right? At least 5. But these from Wet n Wild, this is a great dupe if you ever wanted the Naked Honey palette. Now, these, they're not as soft as Naked Honey. Urban Decay makes these soft shadows that they just are like butter. And I do love them, so don't think it's cutting down Urban Decay. I've always loved their formula, but let's face it, most of the palettes are close to $50. Now, I have been posting in the community posts, if you've been wanting these, when I see them come on sale, I post them because I know that a lot of you are like me and love Urban Decay. But if it's not something you want to spend that much on, this is great. This shade right here is Call Me Sunshine. And I wore these in a video and a lot of people complimented me and liked the shades. If you like these sort of golden, bronzy kind of shades, I think you would love this. And so affordable. Now, if you're into the pinky, dusty kind of shades, which I love, this palette is Heart and Soul. This is another one that's one of their more newer palettes. Not brand new, they've been out a while, but these are gorgeous. They are just great. And Debbie says, yeah, we all know we're over 50. When we are talking about Bonnie Bell, Bat Candy, and bubblegum cigarettes, you know we're over 50. That's just a sign of it, right? And Kissing Potion. Oh my gosh. I didn't know if Kissing Potion was a lip gloss or food. I used to be just licking those lips. I had the bubble gum, all the flavors. I just love those. Do you know they're still available too? You can still get those. Those were some of my favorites. Now, I want to end tonight with some very fun lipsticks from Wet n Wild that I love. Some of these you can get for 99 cents. Now, some of these are getting older now, and on Amazon, they're a little more money. When I looked them up, some were like $4 or $5. But they're shades I love, so I wanted to share them with you. Sometimes you might even just still find them at Wally World. But this is sort of a semi-newer shade. You know, they did sort of like Pat McGrath with the little lip here, so the packaging is very cute. I like this nude shade. This shade is Clothes Off. Boy, the names on these things. But it's a beautiful nude. Oh my gosh, I have to start rating my videos from the names of the products. But this is beautiful. It's got a nice glow to it. It's not super matte. Now, I love their original lipsticks that were more matte. They really do last. I bought just about every shade they've made. But this is so pretty. Isn't that beautiful? And the packaging is cute. It might, I don't know how well it would hold up in a purse. I would keep it in a makeup bag. I keep mine, you know, in a makeup bag. These less expensive lipsticks, the packaging doesn't always hold up great in a purse, rolling around. So I keep it in a makeup bag, but I love this one. Now, a shade I mentioned to you ladies the other week that I have bought over and over is this one. And this is sealed because I bought it as a backup. So I'm gonna open it up. That's another thing, opening these packages is art. But this one is called Dark Pink Frost. Now, remember when we used to call everything Frost? This is also a blast from the past. Now, you might think, why would you like that, Laura, with that frosty look to it? Well, I love it for the center of my lips. This is one of those that instead of putting a gloss in the center, I put a lipstick in the center. So I'm going to show you, let's see on my skin, you can see, look at how pretty that is. It has a beautiful shimmer to it and looks great to highlight and make your lip look fuller. That's the reason I like to do it. It gives the lips more of an interest, better look to the lips, and a fuller look. And with this, you're not going to get it bleeding into lip lines like you would a gloss. So if that's been an issue, is the bleeding into lines, then I totally recommend you using a lipstick that has a frost to it in place of a gloss. Another shade that I've bought a few times is this one called Breeze. And this is more of a champagne version of the one that I just showed you. And this, again, sort of a nude champagne look to it. And I love that. Hard to see over my vein. Let me show you my thick vein there. All right, there we go. I think you could see it pretty good. But it's beautiful. I love this. It's a nice shade. If you're going over, say you did a nude lip and it looked too matte, you could put this in the center of it and it would give just such a nice full look. Well, I think that is everything that I brought tonight. I would love to see if you have any questions before we end tonight. I have gone over an hour and I am starting to sweat under these lights. I'm going to definitely need some powder on this face. Let's see. Do you have any questions? Yes, Debbie says, that's a great topper, Laura. I love it. And B. Walker says, apply that over a color you aren't quite in love with. What a good idea. That is fantastic. It will bring life to a dull color. I totally agree that. Sometimes I'll put 3 different shades on. I'll put my lip liner on and I'll bring it into the lip. That'll be the first one. Then I'll put my lipstick on and then I will take a shade like what I just showed you and put that in the center. Now another shade that I forgot to show you is this one. This one is called Pink Ice. And again, this is one I love for highlighting the center of the lip. This is such a beautiful color. Let me see if I can put that on. This is a lot more pink. Look at how that shows up. That's a lot more pink. And that one is called Pink Ice. I love this for the center too. And hello to Carla from Real Chicks TV. She has such a great channel here on YouTube. She's wonderful. I'm so happy you're here tonight, Carla. And Bunny says, I remember the candy and the dust from the smoke. Yeah, the bubble gum and the candy used to make a lot of dust. Debbie says, that's my color. And Ronnie says, which drugstore setting powder would you suggest? Oh, well, let me tell you, Wet n Wild has a new one that I'm using that I'll show in an upcoming video. The only thing I'm concerned about with the new one is it has witch hazel in it, which can be drying. So that's the only thing. What I would suggest that I've sort of, and I don't have it here with me, I thought I brought it in the room, it's probably in my bathroom, is the number 7. Their setting powder is beautiful, the translucent. I love it. I will show it, Ronnie, in an upcoming video. But I've bought that again. I've purchased that before, and I love the look of it on the face. It just really mattifies, but blurs things too. So I really like that. And of course, I've talked so much about my Can Make powder in the compact. That's another powder that I really love. And Brandy says, do I use setting spray? I've tried a few. I need to really spend time playing with them and nailing that down because I don't use them on a regular basis. To answer your question, sometimes I bought like the Ulta one and I'm trying it, but I haven't come to a way of using it yet where I want to share it with anyone. But I have used setting spray, and I do like that it takes away the powdery look if some of the powders look so much. But I don't always feel that it makes my makeup last a lot longer. So I need to do more of a wear test with that, and then I'll try to share that with you all. And Sandy says, love that number 7. It's a beautiful powder. Even the packaging is beautiful. You would think it was high-end. And Marita says, it looks like Rosewood by Max Factor. Oh, that's awesome. And we can't really get much Max Factor here in the US. When I was younger, I used to buy a lot of Max Factor, and then they stopped selling it here. So I know you can get some online, but it's not really in our drugstores or anything, unfortunately. Angie just suggested Revlon Candid. Just as you said, Candid. I like the Candid. I've used their concealer. I've used their foundation. I do really like that. And I did try their powder and like that. So that whole line worked pretty well for me too. I had good results with that. So, well, thank you ladies so much for coming tonight. You are such a blessing to me. I love being here with you. This has been so much fun. I love our little makeup parties. And it's just so neat speaking with people in our age group. Sometimes in our lives, it's hard to find friends that we can relate to at our age. We might work with people that are a lot younger than us. And while that's great, and I learn so much from them too, it's just nice to be able to relate on the level of growing up with the same things. We ate the same foods. We had our TV dinners, our bat candy, our cigarettes, and we're still here. Isn't that great? But it's just so fun reminiscing with all of you tonight. And I hope you'll tune in on Saturday. As I said earlier, the video on Saturday is going to be my Amazon products that really surprised me. I have some great things to share with you. I've been trying out so many things, and I'm really excited to share those. If any of you aren't on my Instagram, I'd love to invite you over there. I have an Instagram. It's also Ulta Beauty. And I post some of the dances that I do occasionally. I'm going to try to put more makeup on there. I've got some good things coming up. I recently did my gua sha routine on there. So I do post a little more about my life. It's more of a lifestyle Instagram than just all makeup. But I would love to see you over there too. Some of you may not know that I'm over there. And some of you I see all the time over there, and I love it. I love interacting with you during the week. That's been so wonderful. And I want to answer a couple questions before we say goodbye. I see Melody says, I would like to know, when is the best time to exfoliate your face, dry or when you wash it being wet? my blade wants to pull my skin. Now, when I do, you're talking about dermaplaning, right, Melody, or with a razor? If you tell me if that's what you're talking about, that's what I'm thinking you're talking about. I make sure my face is real clean. I wait a little while till the skin is dry, and then I'll go in with the razor. Now, when I do that, I just moisturize at night. I don't use any kind of vitamin A products because I would just have inflamed skin in the morning. So when I do that, I make sure that I'm just going to put moisturizer on afterwards. But I'm going to share, I've been trying out, Amazon sent me the machine, the Finishing Touch. Have you ladies, I don't know if any of you've used that, but that's for dermaplaning, for shaving the face. And the whole reason I shave my face is because the makeup goes on more smoothly, my skincare sinks in a lot better, and also it gets rid of any little dead surface skin that I have on my face. And it just, overall, I think the appearance of my face looks better shaved. And so the Finishing Touch one I'll show you on Saturday. I love it because I didn't have the irritation that I normally get when I use a Schick razor or Tinkle or any of these other razors I've tried. Because I have super sensitive skin, when I'm done, my skin will be pretty pink. And anything that I touch to the skin would irritate it besides moisturizer. But I found with that little machine Finishing Touch, it was just like rubbing my finger over my skin. It really took the hair off, yet it didn't irritate my skin. So I'm hoping that the machine keeps going, doesn't break down, and will keep working. So I'll give you updates on that, but I'm really loving it. I really like that. And let's see, I was Analyzing My Life says, I was able to snag the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded on sale thanks to you. Oh, I'm so glad. And that's probably my favorite of all of them that I have. Those shades are so beautiful because they're sort of peachy and the nudes. And I really love even the packaging. It's like padded on the top. It's just really special. I think I've bought a few palettes for friends as gifts at Naked, their brand, and I think I bought the Honey, the Reloaded, a few of those for friends that love shadows so much. And Debbie's talking about the Finishing Touch razor that she's talking about. I'll go in now when we're done with the live and put it in my Amazon store. So if you click any of the Amazon links, it will take you to my store and you'll see it sitting there. So Debbie, I'll put that in as soon as I sign off here. And B Walker says, trying 2 shades, closest match. Okay, so they're talking about some foundation there. Well, I want to thank you ladies for this wonderful fun time we had together. This really made my week. I appreciate you more than you will ever know, and I will see you soon. Have a beautiful evening.